Welcome back to the 1380 engine build series, and in this one have I got some news for you. Remember my 998 engine that I installed into the Red Mini? The one that gleamed, sparkled, looked presentable and sounded absolutely lovely? Well, you've got the chance to win it, and it's going to be drawn out of 125 people. Tickets are 75% sold, and if you are genuinely interested, click up here or click the link in the description to find out more, because once they're gone, I'm going to draw it live on my Instagram page. I'm going to announce the winner, and I will hand deliver the engine to the winner. So if you want to get involved, get involved. But before we drop into the engine removal in this episode, make sure you do all that genuine YouTube jazz. You know, like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to call it. Spam the comments with a load of, keyboard mess. And yeah, with all that said, let's roll straight into it and get this metal lump out. Because the sooner I get it out, the sooner one of you can win it. As I uncovered the car to pull it from its 2-month hibernation, I was feeling a little apprehensive. Reason being, I spent 2 years restoring this car, and to now pull it apart, it didn't feel quite right. But I had to look forward. It was all for good reasons. More speed, more torque, more noise, and most importantly, to make it more enjoyable. So once I've took this wheel off, we'll take the bonnet off, get that out of the way, and we'll start to drain all the fluids from the car. Now, I'm under strict instruction not to get any oil on the driveway, otherwise I'll be in trouble. So let's get this wheel off, slide it under there just in case the car falls. It won't kill me when I'm underneath it. Put these nuts back on just so I don't lose them. We are going to end up taking these hubs off to release the drive shafts from the engine, and it's always an awful task. I'm not a fan of doing it, to be honest, but I suppose we'll get there. Right, time to pop the bonnet, take these straps off. I went with a strapped option when I built the car because I didn't want the catch. I didn't want it smashing the paint off the slam panel. So we went with those to hold it down, and there's no chips on the paint there. As much as it is heartbreaking pulling this car to bits, it's also quite enjoyable. With the end goal to drop a freshly built 1380 engine into it, I knew it was going to be more than worthwhile. So now the carburettor's off, we're going to remove the manifold and we're going to remove the exhaust manifold as well. We've got to disconnect the fuel lines from the fuel pump coming in and going out. We've got to disconnect all the coolant hoses, drop the fluids, take all these wires off, take everything off, and then undo the engine mounts, and hopefully it should just pop out. You can really start to see how awkward these engines are to work on. Everything is so tightly packed. It's an absolute swine, especially getting down the back of them. I think that's going to be a socket job, to be honest. So what I'm basically about to do now is drop the coolant, and by doing this you have to reach your arm right up behind the subframe, and there's a little nut that should twist open if it's not been put on too tight. So see how we go. Yeah, it's coming free. Here we go. To catch it. Remember, I'm on strict instructions not to get anything on the drive. Here we come, it's coming out. Oh mate, there we go. Created a vacuum, take the top cap off. Oh dear. I think the granddad's going to hit the roof. Shit, it just goes everywhere. Horrible, disgusting liquid. So now we've dropped the coolant out the radiator, we're in a position where we can take these top hoses off. You'll notice this one's split. And that was because the new replacement heater matrix are really rubbish and they just burst under pressure. So when I come to make a fix, the hose wasn't long enough, so I've had to extend it with a coupler. This is getting replaced because it's just unpleasing to the eye, and I'm always worried that that metal Jubilee clip's bouncing up and rubbing on the bonnet. So we'll get these off, get them off, we'll pop the drive shafts out, take the mounts off, ditch the alternator, and then pull it up. Right, so now the radiator's out of the car and everything else, we're going to drop the oil, and then all it's a case of doing is popping the drive shafts out, disconnecting the exhaust manifold from underneath, and also disconnecting the gear linkage. Once that's done, we can lift this out and we should be in a stage to see what we've got left in. And obviously this guy is going to help me.
Team Supervisor, boys.
Right, so there we go, we'll drop the oil and we'll see what colour it is. As the oil drained, I began to split the top ball joints, which should give us just enough room to free the drive shafts from the diff. As you can imagine, one side came free no problem, but the other didn't half put up a fight. Once they were free and the engine mounts were released, it was time to line up the engine crane. So with the engine removed, it's sadly time to end. And that's because I've got a bunch of work to do before the next episode's released. We've got to fit a fuel pump, we've got to fit an oil pressure gauge, we've got to plumb pipes in, we've got to order parts, new engine mounts. The list goes on. So you'll have to join me next time to see what happens. But in the meantime, don't forget, if you want to be the lucky person of winning my engine, £100 or a bunch of stickers, click the card up here or the link in the description below. But in the meantime, make sure you do everything in style, and I'll see you in the next one, because it's about to get a whole lot louder. It's a cool hard wind outside my window. Ooh, where people don't know. Dropped a nut. So I've got... Yeah, I know.
It just comes out like that.
There's no way, I won't be able to lift it. I've got a crane in the car. It's so heavy. See you in a bit, Grandad. I stay home with you in my head. We go undercover. I will be your lover. We're up for night and day. Come on, let me hear you say, let's go undercover. I wanna be your lover. I don't want the games they play. It's not us, so we better stay. Losing a loved one, it's a difficult thing, and it always happens when you least expect it. And there's nothing we can do about it, but it's only human to sit there and think, could I have done more? Could I have took you for that one last pint? Could I took you for a coffee? Or could I just spent more time with you? There's one thing I will always remember my granddad for, and that's his back in my day stories. You know, the ones with the Yorkshire accent. Back in my day, I did this. Back in my day, I did that. You don't know you're bloody born, lad. That's what he always used to say to me. And there's one thing I'll take from this, is I'm going to live every day as if it's my last, because we're here for a limited time on this earth and we need to make sure we're happy. Because would you rather die regretting or rather die trying? Because I'm telling you now, I'd certainly rather die trying.
Play. It's not us, so we better stay.